Hello and welcome to our podcast where we take a trip back in time to explore the most interesting and important news from the year 1975. This is old news. Let's start with some world events. The Vietnam War finally came to an end following the signing of a ceasefire in 1973 and the North Vietnamese forces' capture of Saigon in 1975. This marked the end of a long and divisive conflict that started in 1955 and led to the reunification of North and South Vietnam under communist rule. In total, an estimated 2 to 3 million Vietnamese civilians died in the war, along with 1 million North Vietnamese and Viet Cong fighters and up to 250,000 South Vietnamese soldiers. 58,000 American soldiers also lost their lives, and it led to a period of introspection and a shift away from the U.S. foreign policy of containment that had guided their actions during the Cold War. But as one war came to an end, others were just beginning. 1975 marked the founding of the Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia, led by Pol Pot. This brutal administration Rouge sought to create an agrarian communist society by forcibly evacuating people from cities, abolishing money and private property, and instituting forced labor in rural areas, resulting in the death of 2 million Cambodians. The Khmer Rouge regime was overthrown in 1979 by Vietnamese forces, ending the period known as the Cambodian Genocide and leading to the establishment of a new government in Cambodia. The Lebanese Civil War also began in 1975, when a bus carrying Palestinians was ambushed in Beirut, killing 27 people. This event sparked widespread sectarian violence between Christian militias and Palestinian groups. The conflict quickly escalated, drawing in other factions and external interventions. The war was characterized by brutal violence, including massacres and bombings, and lasted until 1990. It resulted in the deaths of an estimated 200,000 people and left Lebanon deeply divided along sectarian lines. Turning to the U.S., President Gerald Ford narrowly escaped an assassination attempt in Sacramento, California, when a woman named Lynette Squeaky Fromm pointed a gun at him, but the gun did not fire. She was quickly captured and sentenced to life in prison. Fromm was a member of the Manson family, a cult led by Charles Manson, and she believed that by assassinating Ford, she could inspire a revolution to protect the environment. In technology, Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. The company's mission was to develop and sell basic interpreters for the Altair 8800, an early personal computer, and the first digital camera was created by Steven Sasson, an engineer at Eastman Kodak. This prototype camera weighed 8 pounds and had a resolution of 0.01 megapixels, but it laid the groundwork for the digital photography revolution that would follow in the coming decades. In tennis, Arthur Ashe became the first black man to win the Wimbledon singles title, defeating Jimmy Connors in the final. Ashe's victory was a significant moment in sports history and a milestone for racial equality. And the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series, defeating the Boston Red Sox in a memorable 7-game series. The Big Red Machine, led by Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, and Joe Morgan, dominated the league throughout the 1970s. In film, Jaws was released, becoming the highest-grossing film of all time up to that point, earning $250 million in 1975 and almost $500 million total. Directed by Steven Spielberg, Jaws revolutionized the film industry and popularized the summer blockbuster concept, but the sensationalized portrayal of sharks as aggressive, man-eating predators created a misconception that they are mindless killers, despite shark attacks being extremely rare and their vital role in marine ecosystems. On the music front, 1975 saw the release of several iconic albums, including Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run, Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti, and Queen's A Night at the Opera, featuring Bohemian Rhapsody, and showcasing the band's unique sound and theatrical style. And in fashion, power suits were trending in the mid-70s, representing a shift towards more assertive and professional attire for women and reflecting changing attitudes towards gender roles in the workplace. Designers like Yves Saint Laurent and Ralph Lauren popularized the trend, offering a symbol of women's empowerment, independence, and opportunity to dress for success. This has been Old News, a year in review. In the words of Winston Churchill, those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay curious, my friends.